What's going on, everybody? It is Owen with Owen, and I wanted to bring you a video on how to get your offer accepted here in Michigan. So I get this question all of the time. Owen, what do we got to do to submit a good offer? Now, if you found the house that you love, or you're getting close to finding that house that you love and you want to know how to get your offer accepted, stay tuned to this video. Now, I'm Owen Killwald. I'm a local realtor here in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Our team has sold over 180 homes, 7+ years of experience that we've been in real estate, and through our experience, we've learned how to master and how to get your offer accepted. I think it's very important to have a good realtor fighting for your side. The reason why I say that is a good realtor is going to make the phone calls, check in on your offer, and see where your offer stands in comparison to those other offers, where a bad realtor is just going to submit the offer and say, well, we're just going to wait 24 hours to see what they say. And then, at that point, you're just leaving it up to chance and luck. I like to do my part of the job where I'm following up with the realtor and I'm following up with the listing agent to see, hey, did the seller see our offer? What did they think? Did the seller like our offer? Do you guys have better offers? Where are we kind of at? Which is why we want to share some of this value and some of our information here with you today. We're going to talk about how you can get your offer accepted in a seller's market or in a competitive market. They're pretty similar things. That's what we've recently been seeing, but also it can be seasonal. So what do I mean by this is you're going to see a lot of people flooding into the real estate market in March or early spring, and then they're going to start to slow down right about, October, September. Let's face it, that's when a lot of people want to move. If you're a family, you're going to want to move in those summer seasons so you're not having your kid transfer schools midway through the school semester. So for that reason, those are going to be the most hot and competitive market seasons here in Michigan. Everything outside of that becomes a little bit slower, just depending on where we're at, whether it's going to be a seller's or a buyer's market. So that being said, let's get right into it and get into seller's market. So if it's a seller's market, likely what you're going to see is if you find this home and it's a beautiful home, has all the finishes and updates that you're looking for, oftentimes that home is going to have multiple offers. Sucks to say, but it is the reality, and I'm not here to sugarcoat stuff for you. Maybe you've already faced this here yourself. So remember, it's a competitive market, it's a seller's market. The first thing we have to consider is, what are the sellers looking for? Now, here's the top 3 terms the sellers are looking for so you can get your offer accepted in a seller's market. The first term is going to be price. The first and most important thing that sellers are looking for is the biggest walkaway. They want to make the most amount of money that they can from this home so they can set up their future for themselves and their family. If it is a competitive market, you really have to get comfortable if there are multiple offers putting an offer in above asking price, and that even may be well above asking price. Now, that could be 20,000, that could be 50,000, that could be 10,000. We don't know the exact number because each home is a little bit different, but you're just going to have to get comfortable with likely going over asking price because sellers are going to want the most amount of money possible. And if it's multiple offers, other buyers are likely going to be putting in at least asking price or more as well. So to get that home that you really love, first off, get comfortable putting in an offer over asking price, and maybe even well over asking price. The second term that sellers are really looking for is something called an appraisal guarantee. Now, if you don't know what an appraisal guarantee is essentially saying that the appraised value of the home comes in less than our contracted purchase price, that the buyer is guaranteeing that they'll pay the difference out of pocket in cash at closing. So, for example, if this was a little bit confusing, let's go into an example for you. Let's say our purchase price is $500,000. We get our offer accepted at $500,000, and the home's appraised value comes back at $480,000. This means that the bank is only going to loan you $480,000. They will not loan you the full $500,000 because the appraised value is only $480,000, and the bank can only loan you what the appraised value is. That being said, contractually, our purchase price is $500,000, so we now have a $20,000 difference between where our contract price is and where the bank is going to loan us money at that appraised value. Appraisal guarantee is basically saying, hey, we guarantee that we will cover that difference, and in this case, it would be that $20,000. You are agreeing to cover that difference in the contract price and the appraised value. Now, a reason why this is so important for sellers is because, again, they want more money in their pocket. So if they have an offer at $500,000 with no appraisal guarantee and $500,000 with a $20,000 appraisal guarantee, in the seller's mind, they're thinking, well, with the $20,000 guarantee, if the home doesn't appraise at this value, I know I'm getting the extra $20,000 anyways, so they're likely to take this offer. So we've gone into price and we've gone into appraisal guarantee. That has a lot to do with the money aspect and making sure the seller walks away with the most amount of money. Another important term in today's market is going to be something called days of occupancy. Now, days of occupancy is after you close on the home. Days of occupancy allows the seller to lease the home from you. So essentially, at this point, you've got your offer accepted, you've closed on the home, and now you own the property, but the seller is leasing the property from you. This is important, not for all sellers, but some sellers who are moving from their current house into a new house. And sometimes they can't move directly into that house before closing. They need some days of occupancy where they can lease the home from you so they have enough time to take their belongings out of their previous home, which you bought, and move it into their new home. So oftentimes sellers are looking to get free occupancy, of course, because they don't want to pay if they don't have to. Depending on what market it is, we do recommend giving them the free days of occupancy if it's a competitive market. That being said, some people can't manage to do that, and that's completely fine. You can also have them pay basically a daily rate. So every day that they stay at the house, they will pay you X amount of dollars. Call it $50 in this example. So in this example, if they stay there for 20 days, well, then they'll pay you $1,000 because 50 times 20 is 1,000. So today I want to give you a little extra sauce. And for the extra sauce today is going to be a handwritten letter. The handwritten letter can be a deal sealer. Now let me tell you why. I had an example where two offers were so completely identical, and I presented them both to my seller. One of them came with a handwritten letter that was heartfelt, hit the emotions, pulled on those little heartstrings of my seller, and ultimately my seller decided to go with the offer that had the handwritten letter because for them it was a little bit more emotional. Now, I'm not saying that a seller is going to take your offer just because you write a handwritten letter. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it does add a nice little cherry on top and can bowl on those heartstrings. If you have an identical offer or something that's very competitive and very close, sometimes that little handwritten letter can just push you right over the top. So that's going to be it for our competitive market and what you need to do to get a home in a competitive market where there are multiple offers. Now let's transition into if it's a buyer's market and there are little to no offers, how can I write myself a good offer? Because here we don't have multiple offers on the home, we don't have to go above and beyond and crazy. At this point, I'm really looking out for your best interest to try to get you the best deal for the home where we're still satisfying what the seller needs, but we're also giving you the benefit of the doubt and trying to give the buyer most of the advantage here. So in a buyer's market, the buyer does have the advantage. So that being said, typically in a buyer's market, you can get the house at asking price or lower. So this really depends on if they do have any other offers. If they don't, you can go ahead and give it a go and try to go maybe $10,000 or $20,000 under asking price, depending on the home. Of course, I'm not just going to say doing this for every single home because that doesn't make sense. But depending on the situation, depending what the numbers look like in the area, it can make sense to go maybe $10,000 under asking price or even just at asking price usually will do the trick. In the buyer's market, it's just everything is a little bit more tailored towards you. Typically, you don't have to do an appraisal guarantee because if there aren't any other offers, they're going to take your offer and they're not really worried about the appraisal guarantee and they don't get to really be picky and choosy about it, which is great. And oftentimes, if there are no other offers and they do need days of occupancy like we were talking about before, now you kind of have the ball in your court so you can say, hey, if you're feeling nice, you can give them the free days of occupancy. Usually, I would just say to give them the daily rate because, if you're not up against anybody, why lose money if you don't have to? We're always trying to save you more money in your pocket when it's the buyer's market. Now, when it's the seller's market, we're trying to get you the home, so it does usually come with a cost. But in a buyer's market, we're trying to save you the most bang for your buck. That being said, at this point in time, the buyer's market is significantly easier for you to buy. And again, this is typically, at least in Michigan, during that September to early March-ish area. And during this period of time, there are still a lot of listings that come up on the market. And it's funny because you see a lot of buyers and a lot of competition slow down, but you'll get a lot of quality homes that come on the market. So I actually think that from late September to early March is actually the best time to buy a home in Michigan because you're not dealing with a whole lot of competition, and usually you have a handful of selections where you can make a really solid choice for yourself and your family. So let's say it's a normal and healthy market. How do I write a good offer? Well, this is really going to be dependent upon the competition and how many offers are on the home. So let's say there's not anything crazy like 10 offers, and let's say there's not 0 offers. Let's go, hey, there's 3 offers. We really love the home and we want to get it. How do we write a good offer? That being said, I would definitely consult with a realtor like myself to see what are the numbers and what's the data on the area, so we make sure we're not completely overpaying for the home and make sure the number makes sense for ourselves. That being said, if there are probably 3 offers, we're going to want to be at least at asking price, and then incorporate some of those key terms like the appraisal guarantee. Maybe you don't have to go above and beyond in the appraisal guarantee, but maybe like a $5,000 or a $10,000 appraisal guarantee can go a long way because the other offers may not have it. When you're in a market like this where it's like a normal market and not super crazy and not super slow, I think it's very important to have a good realtor fighting for your side. The reason why I say that is a good realtor is going to make the phone calls, check in on your offer, and see where your offer stands in comparison to those other offers, where a bad realtor is just going to submit the offer and say, well, we're just going to wait 24 hours to see what they say. Crickets, crickets, crickets. And then, at that point, you're just leaving it up to chance and luck. I like to do my part of the job where I'm following up with the realtor and I'm following up with the listing agent to see, hey, did the seller see our offer? What did they think? Did the seller like our offer? Do you guys have better offers? Where are we kind of at? Sometimes they'll give me information, sometimes they won't. It just depends on the listing agent, it depends on the person. But that being said, is a lot of times you can feel out kind of where you are and what you need to do to get your offer to the point where you can get it accepted. So this is going to be our video today on how to get your offer accepted here in Michigan in a competitive market, in a slow market, and in a normal market. So thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below if you've had trouble getting your offer accepted and what happened to your offer. Why did you lose on that offer? Why do you think you lost on that offer? And how do you think you can win next time? Excited to see everybody win, and as always, have a great day. Take care.